Well, hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hi. Happy Spooky Wednesday.
Happy Spooky Wednesday. Oh.
Did anyone notice lore in their life this week?
Ooh, hopping right into it.
I actually
did. We got sent, there's this really phenomenal author named Julie Peters, and we got sent her book, Witch, Healer, Priestess, and Outcast, which I have right here.
Which
It is Gorgina. And so I started reading it, and I would love to share just like a hair of what I learned.
Please.
Because I thought it was just really cool. Yeah, I did post-it notes, and they're sticking real hard. So in the welcome, there's like a paragraph of like essentially her thesis statement. And then she says, each of the divine feminine figures we meet in this book have roots like that, oral and written roots that traversed people, lands, and cultures for centuries, even millennia. Some of these roots have been forgotten, but still they reach up through the dirt to the light, demanding to be remembered. I was like, that's so freaking cool. And then the first chapter is about Hecate. And Hecate, she has a pronunciation in it, and it is like Hecate.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, but it's the witch goddess, and her story was really fascinating. It sort of retold like Persephone's story too from Greek mythology, which was neat. And then if I may, I'd like to read the small paragraph about her because I thought it's so cool and it's so like of the season.
I would love to hear it.
So Hecate is the goddess of the crossroads, whether literal or metaphorical. When you don't know whether to go right, left, or straight ahead, Hecate will stand with you, torch lit, helping you see the way forward. She will not tell you what to do or do the work for you, but she will be by your side. So much of witchcraft is about listening inwardly, paying attention, using our senses to trust that part of ourselves that knows without needing someone else to tell us what to do. Hecate's torch can help light our way.
Why did that make me emotional?
No, literally, I was like, okay, pop off, Julie Peters.
That's wonderful. I cannot
wait to read that.
To get my hands on this book.
It's mine.
Same.
You don't get to have it.
When I get back to LA, which is very soon, I will be
I cannot wait.
I'm so excited for you to get here, Lindsay.
I'm really excited.
Do we want to do any touristy LA things? Like you want to go see the Hollywood sign?
I mean, we can, but I have a feeling we'll be doing spooky things instead, like going to see the Queen Mary. Things that are truer to us. Although, to be fair, Hollywood is very...
You don't love the Hollywood
very
sign?
true. We're very Hollywood
Yeah.
glam.
Yeah, hold on.
We love Hollywood glam.
We're just also haunted boat, you know? We're both of those things.
We are haunted boat. We're Hollywood glam haunted boat.
Yeah. That's a fun question. Like, are you more haunted boat or Hollywood glam? Ask your friend group. See what they say.
So true.
And give them zero context.
Yeah, there can be no explanation of what either of those means. You have to use your inward knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one do you think you are?
Yeah. I will either know whether they're your friends or not based on if they question you or answer right away.
So true.
I actually have a hop off, if you will, from your lore, because I actually had a very similar bookish lore experience this week. I have a favorite book of like maybe all time. It's a nonfiction book. It's called Women Who Run with the Wolves. I don't.
Ooh.
It's been around, I think, since like the 80s, and it's written by this like psychologist and Jungian analyst. You guys know I like Jung. He's my man.
You do love Jung.
I do like really love Jung. This book she traces folklore, and she traces like what it is to be a woman through these like deep sort of intuitive concepts, and she tells these stories. That she was also an anthropologist and like cataloged a lot of original folklore stories from different areas of the world, and she uses those to sort of explain the journey of being a woman, and it's wonderful. Mm-hmm. But the funny, like, eerie, interesting thing is that I was first given this book by one of my friends who found it and gifted it to me and was like, this is so you have to read this, and wrote a really nice note. And then
what a compliment.
It was amazing. It was an amazing compliment. And then my roommate last year, also my roommate in New York, for those of you who my life is too confusing. It's too confusing for you to understand. My roommate in New York then left this book one morning outside of my door with a note that was like, this is so you have to read this.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh my God, like I already love that book. It's already one of my most favorites. And I didn't read it at that time, but recently, this last couple weeks, I've been going through a lot of emotional journeys. And she handed me the book again and was like, it's time for you to reread this, basically, in so many words. And I was like, okay, I will listen now. I will listen to the universe. And it's only been a couple years since I read it the first time, but I feel like I understand even more of it. So wherever you are on your journey of being a woman, if you like lore, if you like knowing your inner self, any of those things, you got to read this book. It's incredibly healing and calming and magical. Yeah.
I love that so many people in your life felt called to like give you this gift.
Yeah.
It's like clearly meant to be a part of your journey through this crazy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, PhD, off the top of my head, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
tack on that title right there.
She's smart, okay?
I will say I'm so sorry. I was distracted for a hair in that because my lip gloss fell and then decided to roll down because our apartment is slanted.
It just kept
So
rolling.
It just kept rolling. So I really apologize if that sound like got in this at all. But I'm glad that it stopped rolling because that was a fascinating book.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to read it.
Maybe
Should we
we'll...
Sisterhood of the Traveling
Yeah.
Book?
Oh,
We could do some book swaps.
That'd
And
be
then we
cute.
could each put like a post-it note in it being like, this is how it affected me right now.
Oh.
Right?
Tears.
I love
Tears
it.
running down my face.
Tears. Full tears.
Tears.
Well, what's even funnier is that my lore for the week also was bookish.
Ladies, what are we doing? What is this?
Crazy.
We are connected. We are connected.
I was in Maryland for a wedding, and it was gorgeous. It was like it felt like fall. It was very windy, very magical, and I had a few hours to kill in the city before I had to leave for the airport. And it was about to start raining, so I was like, I don't really have that much time. And as I was walking, I was like, I would really love to find some type of like shop that I can go into, something cute, some type of like bookshop or thrift store. And the minute I walk across the street, like I'm walking on the crosswalk and I look up and there is a bookstore that says Wonderland Books. And I was like, what? It was just like right there, as if it was calling to me.
Do you ever feel like you're living in, what's that one called? What's that movie with Jim Carrey? Where the whole world's
The
about
Truman
him?
Show?
Yeah, The Truman Show.
It really felt like that in that moment, because I was just like, I want to go to a bookshop, and a bookshop was there as I was crossing the crosswalk.
Spooky.
And so I went in. They were the sweetest, loveliest workers there. And I got a little ghost book thing, and I thought it was the cutest thing in the whole world.
Oh my goodness.
Because I also read from a Kindle, so I didn't want to buy a book.
Yeah.
Because I primarily read from the Kindle. It was the cutest thing, and I had to buy it.
Oh
you
my
name
god,
it?
does he have a name?
Not yet. Ooh.
Jinx.
I just got called a name. Gregory.
Isn't Greg the name of the
Yeah.
It is.
The weird cult member we
I looked
named.
into his eyes, and I'm not even kidding. I heard the name Gregory.
Oh.
He's like, oh, you gonna eat that deer?
So, yeah, now his name is Gregory.
Perfect.
Wow, he's cute.
I love him. But that was my lore for the week.
I love it. Sammy has an insane naming thing. Like, she names things very weirdly. I am an avid Sims player. I love it so much. And I am doing the 100 baby challenge, where obviously you have 100 babies with 100 different men. We love it. And I kind of run out of names around, 30 or 40. And so I turned to Sammy and I'm like, what should I name this child, this real living being? And she named it Blueberry.
Wait, that's such a good name.
Thank you, Lindsay.
That's
For
adorable.
a child?
It was
Yeah,
the first
that's
thing
so
that came to
cute.
mind. You were like, what should I name him? Blueberry.
I don't see a problem.
Okay.
Blueberries are delicious fruits.
I feel really validated now. Thank you, Lindsay. It was the
Yeah,
first thing
that's
that
so
came to
cute.
mind. You were like, what should I name him? Blueberry.
I don't see a problem.
Honestly,
Blueberries are delicious fruits.
I feel really validated now. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, of course. Look, we live in 2025. Like, names
That's
can
fair.
be anything we want them to be.
That's true.
I
She
think-
also said like Gemothy, I think was another one.
I said, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I did at one point.
So
Look, I get bored.
Blueberry was the top tier is what I'm saying.
I get bored when it comes to like, oh yeah, let's just name it. I don't want to say any other name
Yeah.
because now it's going to be sad for those people listening. But you know what? Let's be creative.
Fine, I just love them as my own. Now I have to love a Gemothy and a Blueberry.
Oh, I
Gemothy
miss
is a
him.
little stranger to me than blueberry. I
Yeah.
think
I don't
my
remember
hot take in all
Gemothy.
of this is like, fruits are cute as a name. I actually was kind of in support of apple being a name.
That is a radical contrarian thought.
I think it's an apple. Who doesn't love an apple? That's cute.
Totally.
Right, but it's also a person.
Totally. Next Sims baby is
If
Apple.
you name your child Rose, there's really not a difference to me.
Honestly?
We're just, like,
Fair
slowly
point.
appreciating more plants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you raise a good point. Okay. I'm
Wow.
going to name my future child Guava
Interesting.
I think that's great.
or Grape.
I know now. I'm like, what are good fruit names that should be added into the canon?
That's good.
Thank you.
Tangerine, Clementine.
Clementine is like a really cute
See?
old-fashioned name.
I like that.
I have an issue with names that I can't nickname. Oh, I guess you can name them
Blue?
Blue or Berry.
Bluey, Berry.
Blue is such a cute nickname.
There's a lot of names you could work with in Blueberry.
Okay, you know what, guys? My firstborn, regardless of sex, Blueberry.
We did it.
We did it. She is convinced.
I feel so validated. God, I love this podcast.
Yeah. My future child listens to this and it's like, that's why I'm named this?
Because Sammy and Lindsay teamed up on you, Mom?
She calls you up. She's like, what the fuck, ants?
I get it.
I'll stand by it even then.
Yeah.
Fine. Well, speaking of grapes and other things to name children, you know what else is made out of grapes? Why?
One.
It's funny, I was actually going to do that segue, but a little differently today, because we're not speaking of grapes today.
Oh.
It's October. And I got a special bottle of a something in upstate New York in an orchard from a tasting. And so actually, we're speaking of apples.
Cider. Oh my God.
And actually, apples and another thing that you will see in just a moment. So let me go get the bottle.
Ooh.
This is a Ladies Who Lore first. Our
Yeah.
first cider.
This is exciting. Cider is a type of wine, basically.
I forgot to chill it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That's a big bummer. So sorry.
Ladies, I present to you the most fall beverage known to
Oh,
man.
it's pretty.
Okay. A pumpkin hard apple cider?
Oh, that's
Whoa.
really cool. It's called Doc's Cider. It has a pumpkin and a horse carrying what I would assume would be apples and or cider bottles
Oh.
in the cart behind it.
And also, the game here is one that we've been playing since our very first episode, which is that I've brought in a bottle of some lore, whatever the lore contains. Usually it's wine, it's fall, so it's cider, and they are guessing the lore I'm about to tell based off of that.
And if you want to play along, you can pause the episode, look at our Instagram, and then take a guess with us before we guess.
I love that this is what, our like 45th episode or something, and we still struggle through that explanation.
Every time.
And I hope we never change.
No. We will never have a
literally-
polished intro for that.
No.
No, why? No one
I
likes
can
to
never
see
remember,
polish.
ever.
Me neither.
I'm always
Like,
listening to my episodes and I'm like, oh my, Lindsay, one job.
One job.
hey, you did a really good job. Much like that horse. I love a working horse. Yeah.
I'm
That's
seeing,
so cool.
it looks like pears maybe too in the
Ooh.
which they did have a pear cider, so
Ooh. On the side, it's a quote by Henry David Thoreau that says, I would rather sit on a pumpkin and have it all to myself than be crowded on a velvet cushion.
That's such a good quote.
That's so Thoreau.
It is a unique handcrafted pumpkin hard cider, a seasonal cider made from pressed New York State apples with, I will not say these notes. I think I have a guess.
I think I do too.
Do you want to go first?
I feel like
Yeah, I feel
because I'm pretty confident.
if we're talking working animals, right? There's a famous one that helps a famous guy.
Sure.
My guess would be the Headless Horseman.
Yeah, I think it's a variation of either the Headless Coach and or the Headless Horseman. The Doulahan.
Yeah, the Doulahan in
not-
in Ireland, but
Yeah.
the Headless Horseman.
I think
here.
that's 100% it.
and just like what leads you to that suspicion? Because I'm not
maybe
confirming
the
or denying,
horse.
but maybe like elaborate on maybe the things that you're excited about.
Yes. Okay. So I am excited that there is a horse. Like it's a very prominently like horse theme.
Correct.
There,
Maybe
the
this
pumpkin.
is a strange question.
I'm also excited about the horse themed on the bottle.
Yeah. And you're a horse girl, so like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you dive into horses?
Totally.
And then also like the pumpkin is shaped like a head, but also I know in some like childhood versions of Headless Horseman, he has a pumpkin for a
Correct.
head, which is why I'm inclined. Unless it's something to do with doctors.
Which would be interesting, but I do think we're on to something with the pumpkin and the horse specifically. Also, like the Headless Coach, which is a part of it.
Yeah.
The horse is literally carrying a cart.
Yeah. So
So I think we're gonna lock in.
I think we're locking in.
Yeah.
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 Locked in.
Locked.
Okay, let's try it.
Watch us be wrong.
Okay, let's try it.
Let's try it.
Shall we pour some lore?
We're about to get a very interesting new sound on this.
Ooh.
So let's do the sound.
Wow.
That was
my
great.
I actually have Oktoberfest. Yay! I have Oktoberfest beer that we could pour for
would love
ourselves
to.
to be on theme with you.
Oktoberfest, yeah.
Yeah, we should grab that.
All right.
Okay, you want to tell us about your cider?
Yeah, I want to tell you the cool fun fact I learned. So, and also here's the story, because the story is probably gonna lead quite nicely into what we're talking about. I recently, it is fall in New York, folks. I have witnessed fall in New York before, but I have never gone, as they say, upstate to where the true fall foliage is. And this year I decided to make it a priority, and I went with my friends to go apple picking in the Hudson Valley. And in order to get to the Hudson Valley, you must go up New York's Hudson River, and on either side there are these beautiful, lovely old towns in hills and mountains that have some of the most gorgeous fall foliage I have ever seen. And I've now been up there a couple times. I actually went yesterday as well. But on this first journey, I went to a place called Warwick, New York. And I got this from our apple farm. My dog Cider, the apple farm did cider tastings as well.
Oh.
And we decided to do a cider tasting. And you know you're out of New York when tasting all of the ciders, which was, I think, like was $8. And they were all like artisanally made from these New York apples and pears and cherries and raspberries. And this one was the favorite of the man who poured us our drinks, and he vouched for it. And he was like, I'm not a pumpkin spice kind of person, but this is made with literal, he said, roasted Cinderella pumpkin. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Say less.
it's like roasted caramelized pumpkin plus all of the autumnal spices and no sweetener.
I wish
and
we could
apples.
drink
The
that
way
so
my mouth
bad.
is like watering.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of New York apples, which I have to say I have been eating for now a couple weeks, and it's not getting old. They're delicious. So this came from my fall paradise. I knew that Sammy and Jesse couldn't get it, but I also thought it was that the side said New York. And these LA girls have no idea what I mean by that.
Are we wrong?
Yeah, I think we're wrong.
Let's pour some lore.
Literally how?
La, 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 la.
A New York specific.
Should we cheers?
Yes, let's cheers.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Yeah, this is like the best cider I've ever had.
I'm jealous, but this Oktoberfest beer is pretty great.
It's real good.
I'm sure.
But I am jealous.
I think you would love this. It is not too sweet at all, but you get the full taste of like pumpkin, apple, and the spices are just the perfect amount. So I didn't get to try your pumpkin spice Chardonnay. I imagine this is a much more real version of that.
Yeah, less
I think I would
artificial.
like
The
that
pumpkin are like, yeah, they're savory and they're like, you get the full flavor of them.
Yeah.
As opposed to sort of wine having to add the flavors in. This all feels like it was done in one symphony of fall.
Oh, a symphony of fall.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to describe it in a flowery way. We've gone away from our roots. We should be more
You're right.
poetic.
I have to
That
be
wasn't our
poetic.
roots.
No, it wasn't, but I'm making them
That
our
was a
roots.
game that we one time played, Jesse.
I want to go back there. I liked it. What would you rate it?
10.
10. I think that's
10.
our first 10.
I'm serious. This is like a joy.
So I
don't
will
know.
need you to bring that bottle back with you.
I'm gonna need to like order it somehow now because
Yeah.
I only bought the one bottle.
Wow.
I was like, sure, I'll take it home.
Well, get back up the Hudson. Go.
I have to go back up the Hudson. And you know what? So do you. Because
How's
our lore today is a New York specific lore. It's an American specific lore. It is one of the most famous spooky fall stories of all time. And you funny little West Coasters have no idea where it actually started. So let me take you into the 1820 short story that bathed the Hudson Valley in myth forever and established a new version of American folklore based right here in New York, that of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait. You
I'm so
were
excited.
right. It's just that
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
important clue on the
Sleepy
bottle was
Hollow.
that it was all New York. Because this is like, God
I didn't
tier.
realize it was from New York.
No.
It
I
is.
didn't-
It is from New York, and it's actually a really important time in New York history and a really important writer in New York history, which is why I thought it would be fun to
Oh, I'm
delve
excited.
deeper into it. Yesterday, when I was traveling up the Hudson on the most beautiful train line ever, I did it because I was actually visiting my writing partner at her house for something I'm working on, and she lives in a gorgeous old like fall town, perfect, idyllic. But I will say that the train ride I went on yesterday up the Hudson was the most terrible experience I've like ever had on
Why?
a train because of how crowded it was. Because I forgot,
Oh.
because I'm a fool and I had already done my fall frolicking, I forgot that these are the weekends where everyone
Yeah.
else is going upstate to do their fall frolic.
Yeah.
And I had to stand on this train while people were snipping at each other and yelling at each other because everyone was going up to the same place. And guess what town I zoomed past where a lot of people got off?
Sleepy Hollow.
A Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow. I'm
So
excited.
let's talk about her.
I like that your bottle has a quote from a writer as well, and this originated
Yes.
from a short story.
Yeah.
It's very thematic.
It has Henry David Thoreau, which is another famous American author who you will see many people were actually inspired by this writer himself.
Also, sorry, not all three of our lores this week being bookish lores and it being like
We're truly so on theme with
that is
ourselves.
wild.
In our academic era.
Okay, ladies.
Love.
So let me take you into it. And to do so, I am going to read some of the original verbatim words of Washington Irving himself. Sleepy Hollow. A drowsy, dreamy influence seems to hang over the land and to pervade the very atmosphere. Some say the place was bewitched by a high German doctor during the early days of settlement. Others, that an old Indian chief or a prophet or wizard of his tribe held his powwows there before the country was discovered, quote, quote, by Master Hendrik Hudson of river fame. Certainly, the place still continues under the sway of some witching power that holds a spell over the minds of the good people, causing them to walk in a continual reverie. They are given all kinds of marvelous beliefs and are subject to trances and visions, frequently seeing strange sights and hearing music and voices in the air. The whole neighborhood abounds with the local tales, haunted spots, and twilight superstitions. Stars shoot and meteors glare oftener across the valley than in any other part of the country. And the nightmare, with her whole ninefold, seems to make it the favorite scene of her gambols. The dominant spirit, however, that haunts this enchanted region and seems to be commander-in-chief of all powers of the air is the apparition of a figure on horseback without a head. The Headless Horseman.
That was beautiful. I know
Yeah.
you didn't write that, but I'm happy you shared that, though. That was beautiful.
Usually I would tell you the beginning of a story in my own words, but I felt like it was important to read the actual words here and give you a taste of what people were reading and how it was just affecting them so deeply when this story came out.
I mean, it affected me sitting here.
Yeah.
I felt transported, genuinely.
Yeah, the writing was great.
I'm ready.
I'll
so
tell you,
excited.
he's got it. Washington Irving, do not give up. You may yet have
You're
a
on
career
to
of your
something.
dreams. You have got the pen skip.
He's totally dead, right? There's no way he's still
So
alive.
yes, so this is an 1820 short story.
He's still alive for sure.
You got it, kiddo. Keep going.
Yeah, so, and he was, how old? I don't know. That was written by Washington Irving, who was a very famous resident of the Hudson Valley. And the story is called The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. If you've ever read it in your English class, good for you. I had not, but it feels like it's in the very classic canon of American fiction. And it follows the tale of Connecticut school teacher Ichabod Crane as he arrives as an outsider in the Hudson Valley in New York, specifically in an area called Sleepy Hollow. In it, he describes Sleepy Hollow as a sort of magical, mystical land. He falls in love with one of the richest women in the town, Katrina Von Tassel.
Hell yeah.
Van Tassel. Her family owns a lot of property, owns manors, and it's not clear whether he is excited to marry her because he just thinks she's just so pretty and nice. Also, he's a poor school teacher, and wouldn't it be fun to marry Katrina, who has all this money and land? Notably, there's another person who wants to marry Katrina, a bully in town, if you will. This is Brom Bones.
Does he have his head currently?
Yeah, human man.
Okay. I'm trying to decide which one's the Headless
Weird
Horseman.
question, Jesse. I don't know why you would ask that.
Does he have his head?
Just checking. Just checking. Maybe that's why she didn't want to marry him.
You can't just ask that about people.
I'm sorry, that was so rude of me.
It was weird. I was telling Jessie about this person I went on a date with, and the first question she asked was, "Do they have their head?"
She is obsessed with Halloween and spookiness.
I think it's
No,
important.
Jesse, some people are just regular people. Okay?
We'll see.
Brom Bones, despite the name, is one of them.
This is not helping his case.
Also, I know it's supposed to be maybe a spooky name like Brom Bones, but I just keep hearing trombones. I'm like, Brom Bones.
Bones.
Star of the band.
He's a musical guy.
He's walking around playing music.
But he's so
no,
mean.
Not at all. He's walking around with a gang of friends. He is classic 80s bully.
Love it.
100% to a T. I think this story may be where this underdog good guy should get the girl came from, because Ichabod, nothing to his name, but he's I'm a nice guy. Brom Bones, all the friends. And he's haha, Ichabod, you're a nerd because you teach school. If you want the real version, unencumbered by my commentary,
No.
please
Never.
read it.
I think this is the real version.
This is the only version I want.
Also, Brom, where did you learn how to play the trombone? School.
So Brom Bones also wants to marry Katrina. Keep it in mind. So one night, Ichabod goes, and he's hearing all these local tales because that area abounds with local tales. And another quote from the actual short story as they're talking about these tales is something that I wanted to share with you. Quote, Some mention was also made of the woman in white that haunted the dark glen at Raven Rock and was often heard to shriek on winter nights before a storm, having perished in the snow.
Add that to the list.
Right?
That's so scary.
Oh no.
First of all, like, that feels like it should be its own short story, and I was like,
Yeah.
tell me more about her. Is she
Perished
real
in the
also?
snow.
Because as you'll see, Washington Irving lifted a lot of these things straight from what he heard and what people were talking about in that area at the time.
Oh my
So we will have to do more research into that woman in white because we collect them on this show.
I feel like we should have a whole woman in white episode.
We really need it's on my list. I'm not even kidding.
Well, there you go.
It feels like
Add her.
Pokemon, like gotta catch them all. It's like gotta catch all the women in white.
I fear they are everywhere.
They are
Oh wait,
everywhere.
did
absolutely
I?
are.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even tell you. I did tell you over text that my
Oh, yeah.
roommate maybe also saw a woman in white. It's a crazy story. I'll ask her if I can share the rest soon.
Also, weird connection of Headless Horseman because
Yeah.
in Ireland, the Doulahan is the Headless Horseman, and the Banshee is a woman in white, basically, that screams and shrieks. Weird.
Maybe some Washington, whatever his last name is, got some influence
I
from
don't know if
Ireland.
they're actually connected, but also weird.
Very weird.
Don't you want to know? Maybe later in this episode you'll find out.
Oh, okay. We'll be quiet.
No, it's good. I love when we are ahead of ourselves. In terms of
We always
already knowing
are.
The information. It's an educated crowd. Okay, so anyway, he's at this party and he hears also about the spirit of the Headless Horseman. And it was said that the Headless Horseman haunted the town and specifically was the ghost of some sort of Hessian trooper. History flash question. Do you know what a Hessian trooper is? Because I had to remember.
I don't.
I don't think I've
US
ever
history.
learned. What
You
is
did.
that?
I knew
I
that
did?
you did. We all had to get into
But
college.
what is-
A Hessian soldier is a German soldier in the Revolutionary War. Again, this is going to ring like tiny little bells from your past.
Yeah.
But basically, the British paid a bunch of German soldiers who were good on horseback, and I think good sharpshooters as well, to come and assist during the Revolutionary War. So part of the British Army was British people, and part of it was these Hessians that were very scary to people.
Interesting.
So he was said to be the ghost of a Hessian trooper whose head was carried away by cannonball. Some nameless battle in the Revolutionary War is when it happened, and he has anon ever been seen by country folk hurrying along in the gloom of the night as if on wings of the wind. And it's stated specifically that he's spotted a lot in the town graveyard. He's found on the outskirts of town and on the roads that lead in town. But we hear this story, and Brom Bones attests to having seen him and having had his own sort of race with the Headless Horseman back to this bridge, and then the Headless Horseman disappeared for him. So, after this dark and stormy night of telling stories, Ichabod has to go ride through the woods again. Tough. And of course, as it gets misty and dark, and as he's sort of like finding the road back to Sleepy Hollow, he meets a stranger alone in the road. Someone massive and silent. And he says, quote, more quote, "In the dark shadow of the grove on the margin of the brook, he beheld something huge, misshapen, and towering. It stirred not, but seemed gathered up in the gloom like some sort of gigantic monster ready to spring on the traveler. Summoning up, therefore, a show of courage, he demanded in stammering accents, 'Who are you?' He received no reply. He repeated his demand in still a more agitated voice, and still there was no answer. And this looming figure, of course, famously, chases Ichabod through the woods on horseback. Ichabod's also on horseback, so it's a fair fight, whatever, fair chase. And he remembers from Brom's story that the Headless Horseman cannot cross the bridge. So he rides like the wind towards the bridge. Giddy up, clop, clop, clop.
I love you're
trying
really
to
painting a
create some
picture. I
sound
love it.
effects.
Yeah.
And he gets to the bridge, he zooms across, and sure enough, he is not followed. But Oh, I missed an important detail. The Headless Horseman carries his head on the pommel of his saddle. So you do know that he had a head, and the head is there in the shadowy figure.
Ooh.
But
That's honestly such a power move.
I know, I can't believe I missed like the coolest, like most metalist part of the Headless Horseman. But this is all to say, and it's important to say, that Ichabod makes it across the bridge, but the horseman hurls the head at him at the same time. And we don't know what happened after that. Because Ichabod, it's like next day, Ichabod's gone. All they find of him is his hat. But what they find next to his hat is a smashed pumpkin. And when all of this is reported, Brom kind of giggles the next day, making you think that perhaps he actually knew more about this than he let on. Brom does end up marrying Katrina. Not a happy end.
Bummer.
Come on.
But it could be said that Ichabod ran away as fast as he could back to Connecticut after witnessing all of those terrible things. But the old country wives, quote, who are the best judges of these matters, maintain that to this day, Ichabod was spirited away by supernatural means, and it is a favorite story often told about the neighborhood round the winter evening fire.
I love it.
That is such a
And
good
it's
story.
a great story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a, again, I really recommend if you want a Halloween activity, settle down with some tea or some cider and read it. Because it's not that long, but it is super fun and it's super evocative.
Oh.
And who knows? Who knows what happened?
What do you think happened?
Me personally,
Uh-huh.
I think that that Washington Irving, I keep doing this Freudian slip where I always thought this guy's name actually was George Washington Irving. It's just Washington Irving.
What a crazy coincidence.
He did actually write a 6-part biography on George Washington and was named after George Washington. So
I think that it was
there you go.
definitely George Washington Irving.
So I think what happens after this story is George Washington Irving gets super famous.
Oh,
I can't say what happened for Ichabod, though.
Okay, fair.
Sort of anyone's guess.
I wonder, like, part of me is like, do we think that Bomb Bones... Sorry. I like that name. If Bomb Bones was the person who... Hold on. He was the Headless Horseman who just wanted to scare Ichabod out of town. And, like, because the story was in Ichabod's brain, he thought he saw a head, but actually it was a pumpkin the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I could see that.
I think that's what's insinuated.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I think we're assuming that Brom sort of used the story to the best of his abilities. He knew the story was out there. Didn't take much to...
Honestly, then he deserves Katrina.
Really?
I just feel like if you're willing to outwit someone, maybe she'll change him.
Yeah, you know what? Brom really did put the effort in. To be
Exactly.
fair.
And what did
Also,
Ichabod
So
do?
true.
He went to one party.
way more wealthy, had way more friends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look, the one thing Ichabod has going for him is he's like, I'm so smart, I'm a school teacher. But guess who's also smart? Brombone.
Brom Bones plays the trombone, so...
Brom Bom plays a trombone.
And he's musical. I mean, the story has a happy ending.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have okay. Brom Bone plays the trombone, played a joke, now Ichabod's gone.
Wait, you could home was right there, Jesse. So Ichabod goes home.
I like making
Nah,
this harder
I
for
like
myself.
gone.
Go.
He's gone.
That was good.
Oh my gosh.
That was great. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
No notes. You are the next great American author.
I am George Washington. I keep wanting to say Carver. Is that right?
Irving.
Irving.
George Washington Carver Irving.
It's word association.
Who then subsequently moved to California and married Ollivander Hamilton. Sorry, deep cut from Ladies
The
of
real
Lore,
fans would know
Dark
that one.
Watchers episode.
Oh, that's really funny.
Oh man.
But he did not move to California. He actually stayed in that area forever. and built a very famous manor home called Sunnyside. The town over is called Irvington for him.
Aww.
And Sleepy Hollow is a real place that you can go. Says a lot about our uniquely American lore and our time and place. So Sleepy Hollow for the longest time was actually called North Tarrytown. Tarrytown is a pretty big city it's a pretty big town on the Hudson. You can argue with me if you feel differently. And only in 1996 was Sleepy Hollow finally named Sleepy Hollow.
Whoa,
So it's
why?
relatively new, but it sort of had the name of it for a long
Sorry,
time.
96?
It was like colloquially called
People
Sleepy.
called it Sleepy Hollow. They knew it was that geographic area. It just was never actually a town named Sleepy Hollow.
That's
Whoa.
so
North
recent.
Tarrytown. I know. It's kind of cool. And now people go to Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow, every fall. And it, again, like my train, gets totally overrun. But you can see some really cool things there. You can see the graveyard that is talked about where the old Dutch church and burying ground were. You can also go to Sleepy Hollow Cemetery where Washington Irving is actually buried. Kind of fun.
Oh.
And you can see some like old bridges. Obviously the original bridge is not still standing, but bridges of that kind are in the area. And of course, the whole town is themed around fall and spookiness. Because you both would love this, but a lot of those towns in the Hudson Valley are Halloween town. Like they are just.
I was going to say
fall
it
is the
feels
Super
like
Bowl.
Halloween Town.
Yes.
Truly a dream.
Fall
So
is the
is
Super
it-
Bowl, and it's incredible.
Is Sleepy Hollow named Sleepy Hollow all year round? Question number one.
Mm-hmm.
Question number two is it fall, like decorated for fall all year round? Or do they like amp it up during fall?
I believe they amp it up during fall. Like this is like they do one of the biggest like jack-o'-lantern festivals, like witch festivals. It is, you got to come out for
We
here
have
for
to
it,
go.
but
Ladies
Yeah,
Who
you
Lore
gotta
Tour.
come.
Yeah.
But they
Starts
also
in Sleepy
have
Hollow.
tons of places that are just named after. So there's like a Headless Horseman, I think, coffee shop. Like so the mascot of the high school is the Headless Horseman. Like
What are their chants like? I have to know.
It's what you did earlier.
And I think it's not that crazy to think that one day we could just resettle in Sleepy Hollow if we wanted to.
I mean,
I'm down.
Yeah, the Hudson Valley is rife with some of the first American lore and is one of the oldest areas in America because New York is like obviously a very old city, and much of the Sleepy Hollow story was actually inspired by one specific American era that is probably worth talking about, which is the birth of America, the Revolutionary War.
big one.
So the Hessians were brought in as mercenaries during the Revolutionary War, and it's said that after the Battle of White Plains in 1776, much of Westchester County, or the county north of New York, was actually a no man's land between the Americans and the British. It was an area where no one really had control, so there was like a lot of infighting, a lot of British loyalist rangers, infantry, Hessians coming through and maybe kind of terrorizing the patriots who lived there. Lots of little skirmishes. So the idea of a Hessian ghost would have been really terrifying to the families that lived there at the time. And another cool sort of factoid from this era is the Van Tassel family is Dutch. And if you don't know, Sleepy Hollow was also a Dutch community, and the Dutch are who actually were early on the settlers of New York. So you have actually Yankees and Knickerbockers being separate cultures. Knickerbockers being sort of the Dutch New York culture, and Yankees sort of being these like New England, not Dutch settlers of the land.
That's what Knickerbocker means?
Literally
Or, like,
like a New
refers to?
Yorker, like an original New
Wow.
Yorker. Yeah.
Wow.
Which I'm
had
sure
no
you've heard the
idea.
term Knickerbocker before.
Yeah,
So
totally.
the idea that Sleepy Hollow was a Dutch town and the Van Tassel family are these rich Dutch merchants is not... It makes perfect sense in the U.S. history of the time. And not to mention you have the British, you have the Hessians, you have the Knickerbockers, you also have the Native Americans, who are the original inhabitants of the land,
Yeah.
at the same time living in this area, who have their own lore and their own sort of, for lack of a better word, magic to the white settlers there. which also added to a lot of the sort of unknown and mystical qualities of this land that people were just beginning to learn how to live on and just beginning to make their home, if you will. Also, making it a uniquely American story is pumpkins, because pumpkins are native to America. There is no other world in which like this could have happened somewhere else, because they were only brought back to Europe in the 1500s. And the idea that there was just sort of like pumpkin lying around that becomes part of this story makes it uniquely American as well. And I did, if you are wondering, research Cinderella. The pumpkin only appeared in 1697 because that was after the Columbian trade. Yeah.
Whoa. So what was it before? What was the carriage before the pumpkin?
I don't know. I think it became like a gilded carriage. Someone will have to do the Cinderella episode, but I don't think it always came from a vegetable. I think that was the version that was written down by Charles Perrault in the 1600s. And that's sort of obviously that's the static version of the story. There are so many Cinderella stories that in like every culture before then. So I think 1697 was when it was pumpkin and was also kind of written down for the first time.
I have a pumpkin fun fact I would love to share.
Please.
So Sammy and I went to Knights of Jack, which was really fun, which is this like whole pumpkin thing. We learned that Calabasas essentially means like pumpkin town, because the travelers would throw pumpkin seeds as they went, and then it filled with pumpkins, and it was like a huge pumpkin place. I had no idea.
So cool.
I
Now
never
it's just,
put
like,
that
fast food
together,
lane.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Spanish word for pumpkin is calabaza, right?
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
that so cool?
That's
so
crazy.
I know. And now it's like rich people and Carl's Jr. that's right there.
That's it. Rich people in the Carl Jr.
Not a pumpkin in sight.
You know what I also just realized sitting here and saying that to you and hearing that is that Calabar in Halloween Town, I wonder if that's spelled like Calabasas, in which case is it also pumpkin?
Fascinating. Because his whole shtick is with the pumpkin. He doesn't want that thing to get lit.
His whole shtick.
I know. He's kind of obsessed with that pumpkin.
Interesting.
Obsessed with that pumpkin.
Calabar, like he's barring the pumpkin.
Wow. Wow.
Hello? Why is no one talking about this?
That's crazy. Why aren't people talking about things that are this relevant? But yeah, George Washington Irving is actually known as like also one of the first American authors, like famous American authors. He received international acclaim for this story and for another famous short story that I have already referenced once on this podcast, believe it or not.
This episode?
And you laughed at me. Rip Van Winkle? Ring a bell?
It always comes
Sounding
back
familiar?
to Rip Van Winkle.
Someone's a little bitter. Okay.
For backstory to our listeners, if you haven't heard that episode, which I believe is the Hoyabachu Forest episode, I kept saying that it sounded a lot like Rip Van Winkle, and Sammy and Jesse gaslit me, and we're like, that's not a thing.
Well, you were like Rip Van Winkle, you know? Everyone knows Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle. And we were like, we've never heard of this guy.
You did say it as if it was like common knowledge for every single person in the world.
It is. It's Rip Van Winkle. With his song.
It's with his song. Internationally famous for Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle. Watch out, because it's going to be its own lore.
Actually, please.
He's your Bigfoot. We're going to do every other
in
time
a way,
travel
my
story.
Bigfoot, yes.
Instead of white whale, it's like Bigfoot. It's your Bigfoot.
It's your Bigfoot.
So part of the reason, if you recall, why he could have been one of America's first most famous authors and could even get that title is because America wasn't really a thing. It had just started being a thing in 1776. The Revolutionary War period was kind of fraught. And then in 1820, it was ready to sort of forge a new national identity. And there he was, ready to put out lore into the world, his own special version of lore. It also hit at the right time because this was the beginning of the Gothic period of storytelling, which is something we have not totally talked about on this podcast, but has influenced tons of lore. It's like another writing movement that probably without it, we would not have the stories we have. So anything Gothic has sort of the literary aesthetic of mystery and fear and haunting and sometimes romance. And in the early 1800s, everyone was writing Gothic. Famous lore that came out of the Gothic movement: Frankenstein, Mary Shelley,
love.
Dracula, Bram Stoker. People were creating these new ghost stories, and they were being solidified into the canon.
What's the isn't there like some fun fact about why the Gothic essentially revolution happened?
I think
I think history.
2 things. I've heard that it was a reaction, this is off the cuff,
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I've heard that it was a reaction to the Enlightenment, in that there were these sort of like very intellectual humanistic values, and part of the Gothic movement and the 1800s was like going back into the pastoral and the sort of instinctual and sort of like man's obsession with like, I mean, even music changed and went more to the romantic period. So people got, I think, more emo, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, literally. I think that's it. I think that's what it was that I was thinking of. The Enlightenment movement.
But it's a super amazing era for storytelling, and there are still Gothic novels being written today, and like Gothic film, like Nosferatu that just came out. Is a very Gothic inspired film. It's a super salient era for like the new lore.
I love it. That's now like counterculture. We think of it as like historic and like, you know, literarily whatever, but it's literally just counterculture. It's punk music.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that is.
It really is.
Yeah,
Humans don't
so
change.
Cool. Yeah, and novels were once looked at as like kind of like like the TikTok of our era, where it was like, oh, you're reading a novel? Like, read something that gives you information. The idea of being like swept up in a novel was kind of looked down on at a time. But I don't want to lead you astray and say that there were no earlier influences to this either. It was just sort of an evolution at the right time into American fiction. But are there headless horsemen all over European storytelling? Yes, there are. And you already referenced the most famous, the Dullahan, who could get their own episode as well. But
Totally.
The Dullahan is a headless horseman who carries his own head. And it's not a pumpkin at all in this one. It is a head. Which sometimes...
Well, they don't have pumpkins.
Yeah. Sometimes it's also apparently glows with a smile. That's something I read that freaked me out.
I hate that.
Don't like that. Nope.
Don't like it at all.
Nope.
But I also thought it was interesting that the pumpkin in Sleepy Hollow is there, because we just talked about jack-o'-lanterns and Jack-o'-the-lantern, the famous myth, and how he carried around a pumpkin to see his way that kind of looked like a head.
Technically, he carried a turnip.
It was a turnip, yeah.
Because they didn't have pumpkins.
Yes, because in the 1500s,
yes,
that's when pumpkins came.
Exactly.
But I just thought maybe some subconscious connection to vegetables being heads or something. 100%. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that is like what the whole thing was, is that they turn them into scary faces to like scare off ghosts. They look like heads.
So in a way, gourds and heads, who can say what's going on?
Yeah,
next
time you go on a date, I'll ask, do they have a gourd or a head? Instead of, are they headless?
So true.
I'm evolving.
So true.
The next best question.
Question number 1. Fuck their name. Do they have a head or a gourd?
Head?
And couldn't you find someone who's more like Trombones, who's like pretending to have a gourd head?
So true.
Actually, that should be the next question. Is he pretending in order to win your hand in marriage?
Or is he like an Ichabod who's just kind of lame? But he's so nice.
Wait, that's so funny.
The amount of gourds I've been out with.
Oh, you can never be too careful.
Yeah, you really can't.
And then, so one other influence, there is the Scandinavian and German influence of the wild hunt, der Wildjäger. And this is a really famous story that I don't think anyone has touched on yet, which is kind of exciting because it also has some fae influence as well. It's told in a lot of different ways, but this is a mythical hunt that goes nightly across the sky, or on certain nights, again, there's no one version. A lot of versions of this exist. They nightly hunt across the sky, and it's full of all sorts of crazy characters. And one of them is a headless horseman. Sometimes multiple are a headless horseman.
Whoa. Did we talk about that in the
And
Morgan episode?
There was one mention of, I think,
Yeah.
but
Not like that.
no.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love the wild
Super
hunt.
cool.
I
Me
hope one of us
too.
goes into it one. I'm sure he will.
Right?
never heard of it.
It has to be its own thing. This also sparked something in me to remember Harry Potter. Because don't you remember there's a headless hunt in Harry Potter? This could be. It's
Oh,
only
well,
in the
there's a
books.
headless ghost.
Yeah, so nearly headless Nick.
Yeah.
There's a B plot in one of the books where nearly headless Nick is all sad because he can't get into the headless hunt
'Cause he's not
actually
headless.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So I'm like, that has to be inspired in some way.
Yeah.
Totally.
So there is lore everywhere.
Big lore.
And I think this is like my second Harry Potter reference in the last couple episodes, so I will cool it.
Never.
But I will say that this is a very likely source of lore that George Washington Irving pulled upon, because Sir Walter Scott, another famous writer, actually told him to mine German folklore for some of the best stories and connections. And
Oh.
Rip Van Winkle is also heavily inspired by German folklore. Rip Van Winkle, I'll say it again. You seem to laugh every time I say it. It's a very serious thing.
I'm so sorry. Yes.
The
he fell
reason-
asleep for 100 years.
The reason I laugh is only because of the song. Every time you say it, I think of the song.
I don't remember the song.
I don't remember.
All
the
I
song.
remember
Am
is
I
Rip
crazy?
Van Winkle or something like that. That's what plays in my head every time.
I sang a song about Rip Van Winkle.
Did I make that up?
No, I think you did. I just don't remember.
I
the
believe
lyrics.
you.
Yeah.
I sing songs about a lot of things, so like that wouldn't be out of character.
Rip
Yeah.
Van Winkle.
But I wish I could remember.
That's what I sing in my head literally every time.
So, I mean, again, heavily inspired, and it's thought that George Washington Irving, I can't stop. It's thought that Washington Irving took a lot from the current spoken word myth, and when he wrote it down, it sort of froze. Just like what we were saying with like Cinderella. When a lot of these things got written down, it wasn't that the author who took credit for them didn't have influence from all of the spoken word myths that people are passing along each other. It's just that they actually wrote it down, so they got the credit. Like, I think we could probably go back and find that a lot of Hans Christian Andersen stories were inspired by word of mouth. Just like the Odyssey was a compilation of a lot of really famous Greek folk tales that
Yeah.
Homer just wrote down. Obviously in a prettier way, and that matters too. But yes, all this to say, it kept evolving. Obviously, you can find Sleepy Hollow everywhere, and I'm not going to tell you all the places because I think around Halloween it'll pop up for you. But yes, there's a 1999 Tim Burton film that's very fun. It is not Brom Bones in that one though,
What's the point?
and it's very interesting.
Jinx.
Honestly, look, I'm still looking for an accurate version, and it is public domain, so maybe that is our next project.
Yeah, I was gonna
is
say, let's make it.
Let's go.
Sleepy Hollow with Brom Bones.
Yes.
And he's the good guy. Ichabod Crane is actually like this like nerd like guy who's like, why won't she date me? And Brom is like, why would she?
Yeah. You bring
Get
nothing
out
to
of
the
here.
table.
Stop
Wait,
following
ladies.
her. Like,
Yeah. Get out of town.
He's
Oh
like,
my God,
I'm gonna
I
have
love
to
it.
make up a whole like
Yeah.
Copyright. No one take that. It's ours.
No, like we need to have a whole production company where we just remake and redo folklore into movies that is like somewhat accurate.
Yeah.
honestly, I'm in for it. That would be so much fun.
That would be so fun.
The only other version I'll mention, and I didn't watch it, but Disney actually has its own 1949 version, and it came in a package in one film. It was called The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Which every time I go to Disneyland and ride Mr. Toad, because you have to, because it's so
Correct.
insane. Like,
Obviously.
in-
Such a good ride.
unbelievably insane. I ask myself, where did this come from? How did this end up in the Disney canon? And the answer is in this 1949 film that is half Sleepy Hollow and half Wind in the Willows with Mr. Toad. So
Wow. We should watch it.
if you watch that one, you'll get both, and you can let me know what the heck happened.
We will.
Yes.
We're on it.
Yeah.
But all in all this to say, this reminded me a little bit of the Backrooms episode in that, yeah, 1820 was a long time ago, but it's not ancient. And it's kind of like, I think if in 1820 you had talked about this story coming out, you might have talked about it not knowing it was about to become the new American lore, not knowing people were about to take trains up to visit this place, not knowing the mythology that would grow out of it. And it excites me because that means, even like we were talking about with Oktoberfest last week, that it's not impossible and it's not too late to at least make up or write down new lore. And the more that cultures mix and the more that the world changes, the better and newer stories you get.
Yeah.
So all that matters is we keep writing the stories, telling the stories, and they will take on a life of their own.
Aww.
And that's
beautiful.
the legend.
Yay! Go, Lindsay!
Good legend. Good lore.
That was fun. I liked
So
that.
fun.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Mr. George Washington Irving. I have wanted to do that deep dive for a long time, and it just felt right.
Totally.
The
Feels
amount of
really
time
right.
I've spent upstate, too, I've just been like, oh my God, this place is magical. It's magical.
You haven't
Like
been to
fall,
Sleepy Hollow, though.
Pumpkins, apples, spookiness. It's great.
Oh, I want to.
You haven't been to Sleepy Hollow, though, right?
I have actually not, I have not walked through the town, but I have been through Sleepy Hollow, I now realize, many times.
Ooh.
Because I have been to Terrytown.
Oh.
And it's like a 10-minute walk north of that, but I just didn't, I didn't know.
Fine.
I think I'm going to go in November when it has died down. Because
Yeah.
I imagine it will
That
still be
makes sense.
spooky.
Yeah.
And I don't think the spook goes away in November. I think November is still a very fun, spooky month.
Yeah.
But it is, I think I will lose the amount of crowds that I otherwise would have gotten.
Well, that was awesome. Next week is Halloween.
Yes.
I can't wait. And we're going to have a
Can't wait.
spooky episode, I hope.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
Interesting.
Well, yay.
If you enjoyed the episode, please know that a review goes a really, really long way to help people find the podcast, and we love reading them on the episodes as well. We love you. We thank you for your support. We thank you for your spookiness, and we hope you have a nice last week to October. May you find the spook, and may it find you, but not too freakily.
Oh, also, we're on YouTube now. I don't think we
yeah.
ever really said that.
No.
We just kind of posted.
No.
But full episodes on YouTube now if you prefer watching as opposed to listening.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see Jessie drop her lip gloss and things like that.
I'm so sorry.
It's really exciting stuff.
How should we sing?
I think you should decide.
Well, I think it could be funny if we sing like we have no heads, but then it'll just be silence.
I kind of don't hate it.
No. We're not going out with
Okay. We sing like we have no heads, but we assume that our vocal cords remain. We just don't have lips to create sound, so it's just sort of like a
mumble?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
a
we're
ghostly
trying to be
moan
ventriloquists.
mumble.
Totally.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Ladies
I definitely didn't say the words.